We are at a 122 unit apartment building in Statesville, North Carolina. I'm gonna show you how we used our sales framework to negotiate this deal from the seller, and then also help you understand how we bought the deal, how we operated the deal, how we exited the deal, what that meant for us, our investors, and why it will be important to you to understand how we did exactly those things. Let's go. All right, now we are headed to Statesville, North Carolina to visit our 122 unit property. It's called Signal Hill. It's a property that we bought in 2019. We held this property for 2.5 something years as well. We're always looking at different sub-markets. There's a few things we look at, but economical growth is a big part of what we look at. And back in 2018, Forbes ranked Hickory was ranked the 122nd metro in the nation for job growth. They were also ranked #1 in the nation by Forbes for cost of doing business. Here's what we saw happening, okay? As things were getting more and more expensive in Charlotte, we started to see this trend going northward. So you'll see most of our properties are north of Charlotte. And now you have a place like Hickory that's offering tons of business incentives. That is gonna spark job growth, and it certainly did spark job growth. It also sparks household formation. 4.6 year over year household formations. Our target is 2% year over year. These are things that we're looking at within a metro area. To paint this picture too, we got this under contract in 2018. In 2019, when the Milken report came out, which is the report we look at, it ranks and compares the top 200 major markets in the US. Hickory jumped from like 115th to something like 70th. And why did it make that jump? Because of job growth. So one of the ways to get into a market early is to look at trends, right? Maybe you've had some stagnant job growth in a market and then there's a little uptick. And if that's happening, I want to know what's causing that uptick. So man, we dove in full force into Hickory, bought 500 something units in a secondary market of Charlotte, North Carolina, which resulted in, right now with the top of my head, 33 something million in equity on those properties within that area in the span of 3 years. Getting into a market early and understanding what you're looking for within a market, massive to you. I love this property. And I love this property because the challenge that this property was, once again. But I'll tell you that this property is one of my favorite properties because of the challenge and then because of the upside. Understanding how far below market rents you are critical to being able to understand the true potential and value adds you can put on the property. Here's how you determine the best comparables in the market. Here's your framework. Number one, you're gonna see what the average rent is per unit on the target property that you're buying. Number two, you're gonna go to your competitors in the area. Now, you're not gonna pose as a tenant to those competitors. That's what most people will tell you to do. What you're gonna do is you're gonna walk in and tell them exactly what you're doing. Not exactly what property you're buying, but exactly what you're doing. Telling them that you're buying a property in the area, ask them if you can pick their mind, and then you begin to ask them questions. Who are their competitors? What rents are they charging? Ask them about the property and see what their viewpoint is. The more negative that viewpoint is, the better. This is gonna allow you to get a way better true, it's called a loss to lease. Loss to lease is how far below market value you are with your rents. This is the best way for you to gain that, man. Not a scraper tool, not some AI tool, but truly from the source, multiple competitors, so you know for sure what they're actually charging on a true competitive property in the area, so you can know how much meat is on the bone when you're buying the target property that you're buying. That is how you get the most accurate loss to lease numbers on your properties. Go put it to work. Here's how, when you're walking your apartment, you can find pre-screen value add opportunities to see what value you can create within the apartment that you're buying. See, on this property, as we were walking through and doing our initial walkthrough, we noticed a couple things. One of those things that we noticed is that they have a laundry room, but the bottom units have washer and dryer hookups. If the bottom units have washer and dryer hookups and we can buy washers and dryers for them to rent from us, a lot of those people will rent those from us and we'll make a lot of money from them renting those from us. Now, the individuals in the top, they will use the laundry room. So I want to know what laundry contract is in there, meaning what company have they contracted with to bring those laundry machines in. Maybe we can renegotiate another term. And when we do that, we get upfront money from those individuals to have the rights to our property. Another thing that we looked at on this specific property was there was an undeveloped land parcel. There was a 3-acre undeveloped land parcel on the backside of this unit that we realized that was part of the actual sale. Well, that's a value add opportunity because we can come in there and we can see, okay, we could maybe build some storage units there. We could build some more apartments there. When we exited this property, we actually sold the whole property, but parceled out that undeveloped land parcel, did not include it in the exit. So we actually still own that undeveloped land parcel, even though we don't own this apartment building. It did not affect our exit, but it definitely will affect our future income with whatever we do on that undeveloped land parcel. Another thing is you can, as you're surveying the outside, if it looks bad on the outside, it looks worse on the inside. It's just a fact. Man, if we can come in and clean up the exterior, and then we also know we can clean up the interior, those are pre-screen value add plays. Another unique thing that we identified here was that we owned, like the parcel that we owned carried over into the Planet Fitness parking lot. And so what we were able to do is have them actually pay, it's called a land lease, where they will pay to use that portion of our parking lot. That resulted in about $30,000 a year in income from them just renting that portion of the parking lot from us. So remember, man, as you're walking your apartments, you're looking for pre-screen value add plays, already out the gates from the very beginning, looking at ways you can drive the value up for tenants, drive the values up for investors, and then we'll ultimately drive the value up for you. Keep those eyes and that head on a swivel. Another way to get pre-screen value add opportunities is to interview and talk to the property management company, especially the on-site manager, to see what their perspective is on how they're operating. For example, when we were walking through this and we saw the rents for these, okay, we asked how much she thought that she could raise rents on these properties for. This is a unique portion. This is like a townhouse type floor plan, very unique within the area. She said that she could raise the rents by $50 per unit on these. Well, there was a waiting list of 20 people for these units. A waiting list of 20 people, and she thought she could only raise the rents $50. Listen, we immediately knew that we could raise the rents more than that. But this is where business comes into play, right? You have to be able to make decisions that benefit the business, that make sense for the business. She struggled to raise the rents. She just did a standard $50 every time. Listen, man, rents are how we make enough income to provide a better quality product for our tenants, how we make enough income to be able to give a return to our investors. We loved her, we cared for her, but we had to fire her. If you're not living up to your end of the deal in business, you will not be in the deal. We had to fire her. We brought in a lady named Carol Ann. Carol Ann is a beast. Carol Ann, during the pandemic on this property, was getting rent renewals, not an upgrade to different things, just a rent renewal at a minimum of $100 during the pandemic. That's how we were able to buy this property for 7.4, sell it for 13.7. It's because we actually put the right people in place that could execute the business plan that we had in place. So understand what your value adds are, understand what your plan is, and then make sure that you have team members that can actually carry out that plan. And if they're not, and you're allowing that to happen, that's on you, not on them, man. Get those right people in place. It'll be a game changer for you. All right, that's the video, y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. And if you gained some value from this thing, let me know. Also, let me know in the comments what are the things you would like to learn. Once again, these videos are for you. So the more information I can gain from you, the more the value that I can provide for you. And then also remember to subscribe so you see the next videos, like, share, all those kind of things. And then always, 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 damn it, always live with aloha. Peace.